Hello friends and welcome to a new edition of inSTAR show. Today we are going live from our new studio. I hope you like it as much as we do. Let's talk about Eurovision Song Contest, the phenomenon that once a year unites all Europe's countries on one stage, and that throughout time it has taught us that music is the best remedy for a bad situation. And to host the biggest European music festival, it's a challenge, especially now. But things are looking better this year. Today our guest is the Ireland representative for Eurovision 2021. We'll be talking to Lesley Roy, a mountain of talent, ambition, perseverance and creativity. Chosen for the second time for her native country, Ireland, she'll be joining Eurovision stage, but not before getting to know her better here at inSTAR Show. So let's give Lesley a warm welcome and let's get to know her better. Well, apparently it doesn't want to connect. Let's try again. This room has made some changes recently, so Lesley, if you're here, I'm trying to add you, but apparently it doesn't work. Maybe you can try and send a request, or... Hi, I'm trying to add you, Lesley, but it doesn't work. Let's see, maybe you can try and send the request or something. Who knows? Let's try now. Yay!
Hi!
Hello, Lesley, and welcome to inSTAR Show. It's a pleasure having you here with me. I'm very happy to meet you, even if it's virtually.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I love your studio. I love the
Thank you.
lights. I love the setup. I feel like I'm in a club. I feel like I wish I had some darker lights for tonight. So thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much. I'm also excited, and I'm a little bit stressed out because of the technical issues that are going on right now, and also with the new studio. I have to get up with this. I have to get used to the new setup and all the lighting and changes and cables.
I know. Well, look, technical difficulties. Everyone's used to them now for the past year being online.
True.
So don't stress. Just have fun.
Thank you. I'm trying not to. Maybe tomorrow you will be even better. First of all, let me ask you a really, really hard question, Lesley.
Okay.
How are you?
I am well. I am safe and healthy, so that's the most important thing right now, that everybody try and stay safe and healthy. So I can't complain. I am well. I am very excited and happy about how the release of our new song Maps has gone down all over the world, and I'm just really ready to start to meet more people like yourself that I didn't get to talk to last year.
True. It's an exciting time right now. I mean, I've never thought that we can get excited just to meet people. I mean, I was excited before when I was meeting people, but not at this kind of level, you know?
Right.
It was like something more... I'm not sure that the superficial world, it's the right word, but you know what I mean. It's just like, I'm excited to meet you, but tomorrow I'm going to forget you, you know, kind of that way. But now it's something that, oh my God, I'm so excited to meet you, finally.
100%. Well, let's hope that tomorrow you don't forget me, just that quick.
No, I won't forget you, that's for sure.
Good.
I want to get to know you better, Lesley, and I'm curious to know, how was your career path? When did it started? When did you decided to make music?
Yeah, I've been in the music industry since I was very little, very young. I grew up in Ireland and I started writing songs when I was about 10 or 11, started playing the guitar. started getting
Wow.
into the singer-songwriter world here, a very acoustic kind of world. And I got a record deal when I was still in high school, when I was 14 years old, with a small label in Ireland. And I worked all the way through my teens, writing and recording and writing and writing and writing and trying to create a sound. And then eventually I got a lot of excitement from major labels all over the world. So I actually got a huge record deal when I was about 19 with Jive, Sony Records in New York. And from there, it progressed into, I was lucky enough to work with all of the most fantastic writers and producers that we have in pop music of the past 25 years. And I spent about 2.5 years working with Max Martin on my album in Stockholm, and Dr. Luke and Katy Perry and Desmond Child, and we put together a fantastic album, and that had its own top 40 moment in the States. And from there I transitioned into solely writing for other artists, pop artists, country artists, European artists, and I lived in Nashville and Los Angeles. And eventually, a couple of years ago, I got back to New York and decided I wanted to. You asked me the backstory, so this is the shorter version of it. And I eventually wanted to get back into it a little bit more myself. And I had Story of My Life, and I decided the Eurovision was something I hadn't tried to do before. It was in my mind from a child, because I loved it growing up here in Ireland. But after I saw Arcade and I saw Duncan's performance, and I had this kind of idea about the song Story of My Life for Ireland, I decided it felt, for some crazy reason, like the right time to send it.
That's an impressive career path you had.
Sorry, it's bigger, it's longer than that, so I tried to make it smaller.
And it's not even over yet. I think it's just the beginning of your career path, which is amazing.
Yeah, we're definitely into a new chapter of it, and it's a great, fun chapter.
True, true. Your voice, it's so recognizable. Once you hear it, you cannot forget it, which is such an amazing thing. And I want to ask you, how do you keep your voice in shape? Especially, how do you prepare for Eurovision 2021 from vocal points of view?
Yeah, I previously was a very lazy vocalist, more of a rockier vocalist that kind of just was a bit harsh on my vocal cords for a long time, until I started to really struggle with them and suffer from a lot of singers issues. So this year in particular, in training for MAPS and training for Rotterdam in May, I am working very hard and very differently with vocal coaches here on protecting that, on the warm-ups and the cool-downs. I've always been terrible at doing those. A lazy singer. So I am working on that a couple of times a week, and then also, mentally and physically training every single day for Rotterdam for May 18th.
People always said about Dua Lipa that she was a lazy singer, you know? And look where she is now, so.
Yeah. I'm a lazy warmer-upper. I'm not a lazy singer or songwriter. I was lazy at warming up.
Warming up. The last 2 years, the Eurovision experience must have been also for you a carousel of emotions due to the pandemic. And I want to know, what do you think about this situation? How do you feel that you have been now selected again to represent Ireland?
Yeah, it was, like you said, a carousel. It was a roller coaster of emotions, from having Story of My Life and people being so excited, and people, it charting on radio here in Ireland, to it being cancelled and gone. That was, as I'm sure for every other artist last year, very upsetting and shocking. The pandemic was new. And I had got in conversations with our head of delegation as soon as it was cancelled, and we made a plan at that point in March that, I didn't want to get an automatic selection when there was no song. The Eurovision is about the song. and having a song. So we devised a plan that when it was safe during the pandemic and it felt appropriate to go and write again, I would try and find that new song. And if I did find it, I would bring it back and we would see if we were on the same page. And luckily enough, we were. I played it once and we were good to go. And it's been emotional. It's been happy. It's been very stressful. And then it's also been quite nerve-wracking because of where the world is at. And, you know, I want to be very mindful of people are going through an awful lot of things right now, and sometimes talking about the Eurovision seems like not the thing to talk about.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think because of what's going on, that people actually do really need this show, and they need something exciting and fun and light and passionate. So it's been a roller coaster, yeah.
We need positivity,
yeah,
in the other way of the world's meaning, because right now if you hear you're positive, you just gotta what? It starts to panic.
Totally. No, I completely agree.
Sometimes I even think that when I use the word positive, I'm trying to use a synonym like optimist instead of positive, you know, because people started to associate that world with something negative, which is not great. But as you said, also, it's the first time in history that the Eurovision was postponed, and it was huge, and it still is huge.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, what do you think that were the criteria for I don't know the jury for whoever did the selection of your song and you to represent Ireland? What do you think it recommended you, and why did they choose you?
Why did Ireland choose me?
Yeah.
I believe, I can't speak for anybody, but I believe I sent the best song in 2020. Mm-hmm. I believe they understood that I was trying to shake things up within the community, mm-hmm. And maybe direct us down a different path. So I think they believed in me because of that song, and they believed in how I want to talk to people like yourselves and communicate and get more involved. And then I think for this year, they believed in me again because I worked day in, day out on writing a million different songs during a pandemic to find maps, because I so want to finish this project and represent Ireland. So I think they just saw the quality of songs and the amount of work that I'm putting into it.
As I said at the beginning, they saw your mountain of talent, perseverance, ambition, creativity. And I think Ireland did a great job selecting you as their representative, because I can tell that you are very passionate about what you do.
Yeah,
you really
too much sometimes.
Do you think that people missed Eurovision, and what do you think they missed more about the contest?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Eurovision fans, and I'm a Eurovision fan outside of being a songwriter, people look forward to that night every year. It's like the Olympics, you know, I think it is. And I think people really get behind songs and artists, and they get behind the community of it, and they get behind the story of what the Eurovision was, and why it was created was to bring Europe and people together for something positive. So I think people really missed that, and it came at it was a bad time for us to lose that, because the mm-hmm. world literally exploded. Yeah, so I think people really missed it, you know, musically and for their mental health. So I really hope that we can push forward and go to the scenario B for Rotterdam and actually perform.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that. Do you think that Eurovision 2020 will remain just as appealing as in any of the scenarios in which it will be decided to be hosted this year?
Do I think what?
Right now,
Claudia, I missed the start of that.
I was asking if you think that Eurovision 2021 will be just as appealing in any of the scenarios in which is decided to be hosted this year. Right now, they are talking about hosting it in the scenario B, which is like a social distance Eurovision.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
I
still
mean,
better than scenario C or D or nothing at all.
exactly. Look, I think we all know going into anything right now, Eurovision, football, rugby, whatever, that it's going to be different. And it's going to be different probably for a while. So, no, there's no way it's going to be the same. And nobody could argue that. It won't be the same without an audience. But like you said, it will be better than nothing.
Yeah.
I do hope that we get to go ahead with B, and there's maybe some people in the stadium, but I just really hope that we get to perform on that stage for people at home on their television or computer or their phone to see it, because I think no, Eurovision is not a good plan, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. Who know, maybe we'll be surprised and we'll do the scenario A, which is back to normal.
Yeah.
I want to congratulate you on your entry in the song Maps. I really like it, and I can't wait to hear it live on the stage of Eurovision in Rotterdam. And I wanted to ask you, what is the message that you want to convey in people's hearts through Maps?
Yeah, Maps. So for me, it was, I wrote it in the time period where I was trying to write it. So I was trying to find it. I was trying to find the song. I got a little bit lost within trying so many different types of songs, and I started to get very anxious about everything. And I felt I was putting a lot of pressure on myself, and I felt a lot of pressure from people wanting something like Story of My Life, and I want to give that to people, so I felt very anxious. So Maps is an inward look at where have you gone? Where am I? Of a true sense of feeling lost, of who you are, what your true self is, what your kind of home is with inside. So it's a look inward at what's been lost, but it's also a little bit of a look outward of also what is the truth for you and what is your true sense. And for me, a little bit of that is actually having been able to come home to Ireland for the past year and kind of re-find myself. So it is a journey, and it is Maps, and it's inward, but it's also outward.
That's such a beautiful message. I think I'm right now. I'm in Austria. I'm in Vienna visiting my. Well, I'm not visiting anymore. I came in June 2020, and I just stick around since then. I never got back home to Romania, to Bucharest. And now that you said it, that you go home to find yourself, to refine yourself, I kind of miss that. I miss going back home to refine myself.
Yeah, and I think
I can't wait to do it.
Exactly, and I think in some moments in your life you don't experience that. You can pop home and pop out, and you don't miss that connection. But for me, in trying to write that song, and I also felt that a lot of people around the world were all kind of looking inward and feeling lost, that it made sense for me, the lyrics in the song at the time. And I think it's also connecting with a lot of people as well.
Talking about maps, what does the map look like, which guided you in your personal and professional life?
What does the map look like in which way?
In your personal or and professional life.
In my personal life, I'm married. I'm here in Ireland. And you know, in my career, my map is all about music and has been all over the map and all over the world. And I don't know if that answers your question or at all. Maybe I was a little confused. Okay.
What are the first three personal questions you are still looking for an answer to?
Whew, that's a great question. Three personal questions that I'm still looking for the answer to. Wow. What next apartment I'll live in? Where I'm going to rent next, Rob? How much my rent will be? No. I mean, I think I've been so focused on this Eurovision and getting to this stage that all my questions right now are based around how do I prepare in the best way possible? How do I keep myself and my small team of people as safe as possible? And how do we build something and create something for that night that connects to the world? So my three personal questions really is, how do I make maps as best as I possibly can?
I think you know the answer to that. Just enjoy your live performance.
Exactly. Well, that's what it's about. It's about coming back to your true self of what you know, and what you know is real for you. So yes, you are completely correct.
Who or what manages to make you happy?
Oh, my wife, Lauren. Every day. She'll make me laugh. She'll make me cry, but then she'll make me laugh again. Lauren really makes me laugh. My sister Shauna makes me laugh all the time. And my grandmother who lives with us, I cry laughing with her. So I'm very lucky. I'm around a couple of very strong women who make me laugh all the time.
That's nice. What is the best advice received, personal or professional, and the best lesson learned in your career so far?
Ooh, I think it's similar to the message behind maps, is to find your true self. When you're feeling in that lost place, because I think we can feel lost very, very frequently. So I think the best advice and the biggest lesson I've ever learned is to not try to be somebody else or something else, is to do what is right for me as a person, as an artist, to tell my story, speak my truth. And if people, there will always be people that don't like it and don't like you. And it's to not worry about that and focus on continually giving love to the people that do understand you.
What can we expect from you in the near future? And what can you tell us about your performance on Eurovision stage in Rotterdam?
Well, I am very lucky and excited that my creative director is Frederick Reimann. Benka is his nickname, and he was the creative director, if you remember, for Mons Zelmerlow's Heroes. So he was the man behind the staging and the choreography for that. So we're very lucky to have him involved this year.
Wow.
And that is all I'm going to tell anybody about the staging. It'll be very passionate and beautiful. And yeah, that's it. I want to keep it a surprise for as much as I can.
By the way, if you do it as excited as the music video, I'll be like, drop the mic, you know?
Yeah.
I love the music video because it shows so much beauty of Ireland. It's amazing. When I watched it the first time, when you put it online, I wanted to go right now to visit Ireland. I was like, I want to go there.
Good. It's really beautiful. And my director, Ash Brady, did such a fantastic job. And I was exhausted after it.
You run a lot.
Oh, and that's 2 minutes edited together. There was 2 days of running up and over and down, and I took a really bad fall as well, which I have to find the footage of, because I like went up in the air. It was crazy. But it was all worth it because the video is
amazing.
Like, makes me like so happy.
It's amazing. What is the message for all Eurovision fans and supporters from Romania and around the world that you want to share?
Well, aside from voting for us on semi-final 1, you know yourself. Aside from that, thank you for being behind Ireland and behind my story and letting me tell my story this whole past year. And for all the videos and messages of people singing to Story of My Life and also Maps, and for talking about it and streaming it. And my message to everybody, aside from thank you, is to just, I hope everyone can stay safe and healthy moving forward.
And my last question for you, Lesley, is what message does Lesley Roy from the present has for Lesley Roy in the future?
From the present for the future. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to go backwards. Someone yesterday
No.
said you're 16-year-old. Okay, for the future. Woof.
I hope you find that apartment and the rent is cheap.
That's exactly. I know now. I'm thinking, why did I talk about my apartment rent on an interview? Yeah, I hope I'm in a great apartment. No, I hope future me is happy and proud of what I've been doing right now and everything up to this point. And there's no crazy mad regrets. But I don't really believe in regrets or mistakes. I believe that everything happens the way it's supposed to. So I hope future me is healthy and has a great apartment and is very proud.
I hope that you have a great apartment in the future as well. I mean, I think you have it right now, but better is always better, you know.
I know, now I feel like I've stressed people out. They're going to think I live in this like horrible apartment. I have a great apartment and life is very good for me, so.
Well, I'm happy to hear that, especially right now with these crazy times. Being happy is something that it's very hard to do sometimes, not every day.
Yeah, no, it's hard working on your mental health, and I'm so glad that one good thing out of this year is that people are talking more about their feelings.
Yeah.
And for me anyway, it's a daily job checking in on what's going on up here. Because if I don't check in, it can spiral out of control. So I'm glad people are talking about that more. It's so important.
True. I was thinking right now that finally we got to a place where checking in is about here and not on Facebook or, you know, Instagram. But you know what they say, if you want to see the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain, right? So
100%. Well, there's lots of rain in Ireland, so I'm excited for all the rainbows.
Thank you so much, Lesley, for being with me here.
Take care,
really
and we'll see you hopefully in May in Rotterdam.
I really hope I will be able to join you. We are every year we are accredited to come to Eurovision, and we do our best to be there. And I hope this year we'll be able to join, even if the press is reduced in half. I hope that we are going to be there with everybody and supporting all of you, because I think every single artist that's present on that stage deserve an acclamation, not just because of their beautiful song in the country they represent, but just because they managed to give love and happiness to people, you know?
Completely. And some little bit of light for this whole year. You know, I so agree with you, and I hope to see you there. And love to all Romania, and yeah, vote on semi-final. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you so much, Lesley. It's been a pleasure. Good luck, and I hope to see you very, very soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, everybody who joined us today here on inSTAR Show. It's been a pleasure to have you all here. I'm repeating myself. I'm still excited about meeting Lesley and streaming from the new studio. I hope I will see you also tomorrow with our next guest. It's the band Unknown Chapters. We'll be live at the same time at 8 p.m. And until then, I hope you remain happy and healthy. And I'm Claudio, and I will see you tomorrow.